Yeah, I have an appointment for a blood pressure.
Did he just sneeze on my desk?
A blood
Sir, if
pressure.
you're not feeling well, I'm gonna have the nurse come see you outside.
Brother, I'm feeling good. I just got a blood pressure check. My whole hood been vaccinated.
Your whole hood's been vaccinated. This fool sneezing and coughing all on my. You gonna piss me off?
I understand that, but they can give you a blood pressure check outside.
Man, what is wrong?
Hey you guys, I'm Venus Monique from the hit crime drama Vindication, and you guys should definitely make sure you're catching the Maurice Brown Show on Roku TV.
Yeah! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Maurice Brown Show. That was my good friend Venus Monique from the crime faith-based series Vindication. You can see it on PureFlix, and that was my buddy Chris Need, who opened up in the doctor's office. This COVID-19, I tell you, it's something, Stu. This COVID-19, dude, I'm telling you right now, my wife shared great news with me the other day, though, in the light of all of this crazy stuff. She said, honey, babe, we got to get this, Stu. She said, babe, we got enough money for the rest of our lives.
That's great news.
Yeah. We just have to die tonight. And we'll be all right. But nah, it's not that bad, Stu. It's not that bad. Hey, man, what's been going on, bro?
Ain't that much, man. You know, I'm feeling good on this Victory Monday.
Yeah.
You know, we got that tough win against the Vikings, so I'm feeling good. 49er fans, what's up?
Hey, you know, you got to chalk it up. The 49ers got a big win yesterday, and they kind of had a feeling it was going to be an easy day when they looked over there and they saw that Bama with number 8 on. They said, what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It just got dumb and dumber out this joint. So, yeah. Man, I'll tell you, yesterday, it's too bad. I feel bad for Kirk Cousins because the Vikings, again, played another tough game down the stretch. They couldn't seal the deal, which has been their problem all year. Break down that 49er Viking game for us, Stu.
That was a great game. It took all three phases: offense, defense, special teams. When one failed, the other one had to pick each other up. It was a lot of injuries, big name injuries. Debo got injured in the game. Fred Warner got injured in the game. Dalvin Cook got injured. They already came in with a couple of key injuries. So it was one of those games you had to buckle up your chin strap. It was a playoff atmosphere. The faithful were there cheering loud. It just felt like a playoff game. We knew how much this game meant. They said if we would have lost that game, we had a 20% chance of making the playoffs. Winning it would boost us to a 70% chance. So that was a huge win. We are now currently the 6th seed in the playoffs. We're one game behind the Los Angeles Rams, who are currently the 5 seed. So I would have never imagined the way the season started that we would be that close to the 5th seed of the playoffs.
Well, see, here's the problem, too, Stu. I'm trying to understand how you get down towards the end of the game knowing you got to win this joint, and you line up behind the guard to take the snap. And you know, Kirk Cousins is one of them dudes, man, that he just kind of like he's a good quarterback. He's not a great QB, and you guys benefited because he doesn't know how to seal the deal.
Yeah. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe it was a trick play, a direct snap to the running backs, but they kind of admitted in the post-game conference that it was a mistake on his part. So, you know, I would have just went ahead and said, no, it was a trick play. We just couldn't get it to work. So that was definitely a mistake. He definitely choked in the end of that game, and I'm glad he did because we let them run back a kickoff on us, what made it a lot closer than it should be. But I'm glad that we managed to get the win and leave there with our heads held high, get the job done.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, the NFC West is starting to become a very interesting division now because the Arizona Cardinals right now are in control. The Rams, on the other hand, are starting to lose control, courtesy of my main man right here yesterday doing his thing.
A-Rod.
A-Rod went out there and did his thing. You see what I'm saying? And I can't feel sorry for the Rams. However, the 49ers are benefiting from the slippage by the LA Rams. How do you explain that?
Oh man, it's been a team effort as far as the slippage. The Saints losing and who was that lost? The Rams lost, the Saints lost, and a couple other teams that were right in the mix. And that definitely helped boost us up to the 6th seed now with us beating the Vikings. So man, we're one game Rams. I would have never thought we would be only one game behind them, and we've already beaten them once, and we played them the last game of the year, so that'll be a huge game. If we can creep up to that 5th seed, I'll be glad about it. I wasn't even thinking we would make the playoffs, beginning how we were starting the season. So I'm glad we've picked it up, and we got 3 straight wins back to back, and we got a tough Seattle team we got to play. When I mean tough, they may not look that good on paper, and they may not be doing well, but they always play us tough. That's one of our hardest games every year, and I'm hoping the football team can soften them up a little tonight. So that, it'll be an easier win, because we definitely were softened up with a couple key injuries with that Minnesota game. So I'm definitely looking for a good game tonight so that we can help us get a better game against them next week.
Well, we're going to get into that a little bit later on. The Washington football team playing the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football. Aaron Moore, former tight end at Bowie State University, is going to stop by and chime in on the state of the Washington football team, as he does every Monday here on the Maurice Brown Show Sports Edition. Yesterday, Green Bay did a number on the LA Rams, 36-28. The final score does not indicate how much of a real beatdown that was. The Rams came on late, weren't able to get close enough to win the ball game. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers with a broken toe went out there and threw lasers. I mean, once again, pinpoint passing from a guy that's not standing up straight. They're missing multiple starters on defense and offense, and somehow Green Bay is able to keep on trucking. How do you explain that one, Stu?
A-Rod, he's definitely playing. They're playing complementary football, and he definitely has a defense this year. A lot of times, he'd just be trying to do it all with the offense. Having a defense that can get stops, get picks, play complementary to him is what he needs. And it's going to be pretty tough to beat the Green Bay Packers, especially if they get that home field advantage this year.
Well, yeah, if the playoffs have to go through Lambeau Field to get to the Super Bowl, yeah, it could be tough. And the thing about Green Bay is they can change their personality. You want to get into a track meet, we can get into a track meet. You want to get into the octagon and get physical, we can do that. You want to play slow down, however you want to play this thing, Green Bay's able to adjust. And but at the end of the day, it's all about number 12. And as long as he's standing up right, the Packers are a problem. There's no question about that.
Atlanta,
yeah. And then Atlanta over the Jaguars. That's 21-14. They played a game. Anyway, let's see. Denver over the Chargers. Now, I'm going to say this. 28-13, Denver over San Diego. Now, the Broncos, believe it or not, guess what? Have a big game against the Chiefs next week where that division could go to Denver. Do you believe that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've said it, in previous weeks that the Broncos are one of those teams you don't want to see, just like the Vikings. They got a good defense. Them boys play. They get after the quarterback. Teddy's been doing this thing down there, and they're definitely one of those teams you really don't want to see. They can beat you any given Sunday. So anybody can be beat any given Sunday, as we see. It's a week-to-week league, and that's one of those teams. They got some fight still left in them. And if you see them on your schedule, be careful.
Be very careful. Yesterday also, last night it was Baltimore 16-10 over Cleveland. I couldn't watch that whole game. It was so boring. It was just an ugly game. But Baltimore gets the win. Your assessment of that ball game and those two teams?
Ravens are a tough team, and when I say that, I mean that it may not look pretty, it may not be exciting in the way we want to watch it, but they find a way to win every week. They find some type of way to win. So definitely the Ravens are one of those teams. They can get healthy and get their boys back. I know I think Lamar was just coming back off of, being sick. He was real sick last week and he didn't play. So I knew he probably wouldn't be 100% this week. But it's one of those teams. They got the defense. Defense keeps them in the game. And, if they can get that offense clicking like how we've seen, they're definitely a pretty tough team to beat.
Pretty tough team to beat, and then over the Thanksgiving holidays, we had Chicago over the Lions, 16-14. Raiders over the Cowboys, 36-33. How in the world do you explain the Dallas Cowboys at this stage of the game, Stu?
The Cowboys are very inconsistent. I know that they have two of their top receivers out, and they're definitely feeling it. It used to be, everything predicated to the run. So when Zeke or, when Pollard was out, everything would fold. But now, they're kind of more passing more. So with those two, I think CeeDee Lamb and Cooper are out. And with those two guys being out, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's those two. And those two guys being out, it doesn't seem like people are getting open like that. I'm watching a couple of times and I'm like, dang, Dak, people are not open. Somebody got to get open and help Dak out, help the quarterback out. They got to establish the run and they got to figure out something. They've been inconsistent and they keep going in this downward spiral, man. It's going to be pretty tough for them to do anything or make any try to noise in the playoffs because this is a deep, definitely the NFC is very deep. A lot of good teams in the NFC.
A lot of good teams in the NFC, without a doubt. And the last game on Thanksgiving, Buffalo over the Saints in a no-brainer, 31-6 win. A real yawner. Really didn't have any competition in that ball game. Buffalo now sets itself up for a big Monday night game against New England. We'll get into that a little bit later. Your assessment of Buffalo at this stage?
Buffalo did what they had to do. They say they're the better team, and they showed it. They got the better quarterback. The Saints are on the third string quarterback now. So Buffalo's at that stage where they got to tighten up and get back into what they were doing at the beginning of the season. These games are not going to get any easier. Everyone's trying to make this last minute push into the playoffs. And Buffalo, they got to get it together. They got a very big game next week, and I'm definitely interested to see how that plays out.
Yes, and we got Aaron Moore standing by. He's going to join us momentarily. Buccaneers yesterday over the Colts in a wild one. Looked like, the Colts are probably going to find a way to win it. And once again, Tommy Brady does this thing. This is why you can't count the Bucs out for us. Another Super Bowl run.
Right. Yeah, the Bucs are, Brady's one of those teams where, if you can beat them, enjoy it because, it doesn't happen that often, especially in the playoffs. That was a great game. The Colts came to play. They just couldn't get it done at the end. They made great plays. Brady threw some picks in there, had some turnovers and things like that, but he found a way to win, and that's what it's about at the end of the day.
And yesterday, the Jets over the Texans 21-14. The Giants over the Eagles 13-7. Just when you thought Philadelphia might be making some noise, they go out and wet the bed against a very, very I hate to call the Giants poor, but they are what they are, and they didn't show up yesterday, Philly.
No, they didn't. It was one of those things with the division, especially in the NFC East. A lot of those teams, they know each other well. They know what works and what doesn't work. And, you could be a pretty bad team and still give that team some problems, which the Giants did. They're still trying to figure it out. They just fired their offensive coordinator, Garrett. And, they got a guy back there calling the plays. And they're just trying to figure it out. And I thought Philly would steamroll the Giants, to be honest with you. But I guess I thought wrong, man. The G-men did what they had to do.
They did what they had to do, and they really stuffed the Eagles. Jalen Hurts was just stuffed yesterday. Couldn't get anything done. Miami over Carolina, 33-10. We're going to talk about Cam Newton a little bit later on in the broadcast, and then the Patriots 36-13, who literally walked the dog on a team that many had picked, including you, Stu, to make a run to the Super Bowl, but right now they are stumbling around trying to figure out. They're like a punch-drunk fighter right now. I mean, they're just stumbling around. People are hitting them in the jaw, and they can't seem to get themselves to straighten up and fire some shots back. And they were just dominated by the Patriots yesterday. But we're gonna stop it right there. We're gonna come back and comment on some of those things, and we're gonna talk about now the state of the Washington football team with Aaron Moore, former tight end at Bowie State University. Aaron, what's happening, brother?
What's going on? Bowie State Regionals.
What's up, bro?
Hey.
Yeah, we're going to the regionals.
All right. We got to see what's up with Bowie State. This might be the year for a CIAA championship.
Oh, we won the CIAA. This is regional Division II playoffs.
Oh, okay. I'm loving it. All right. So now it's time to go get an NC2A chip.
Correct.
Got it.
We got past the first 2 rounds. We just beat Newberry State. Now we on to the regional. So this gonna be a tough game coming up.
I love it.
Pull it out, but
we're going to be rooting for Bowie State. We switch over to the Washington football team, the state of the Washington football team, and tonight a critical game against the Seattle Seahawks here in D.C. tonight on Monday Night Football. Aaron, talk to us a little bit, buddy.
Must win. Putting it out there.
Okay.
Cold red game right here. If the defending NFC champs has to put a show on tonight against the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
And I think they are. We getting Logan Thomas back, hopefully from that injury he had a couple weeks ago, and we getting Curtis Samuels.
Okay.
Back tonight. So hopefully he can stay healthy as well. So we're getting 2 big weapons back that we desperately need.
So if you look at the Washington football team right now in reference to the NFC East, yesterday a real shocking loss by the Philadelphia Eagles. Nobody saw that coming. I'm telling you the right. And here's the thing about division games. They're like that. You know, the Giants hate Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And they raise their game up to another level. So you have to take that into consideration. But this was a game where the Eagles literally did not show up.
They did not show up.
And so they go down. They didn't even show up yesterday. I don't know what was up with Philly. And so now the Cowboys slip on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And if they're not careful, that division can get away from them. And this is a must-win tonight for Washington.
It is a must-win. And the funny thing is, no one is talking about the Washington football team of taking a run of taking this division for a second year in a row. I heard Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, but no one's saying the Washington football team. But with the loss with Philly and the Cowboys look like they're going down the wrong side of the road right now.
Yeah,
but it's open. It's open for the Washington football team right now.
Well, you know, the Cowboys are what they are. I mean, everybody makes excuses for Dallas. Yeah, well, that CD Lamb is out and so is out. Hey, man. Hey, put some dirt on that thing, man. Put some dirt on it and let's go. I mean, if you're supposed to be one of those teams, I don't want to hear all these complaints. And I'm going to use Green Bay as an example. I'm a Packer fan, so I'm going to sound biased. However, we got a ton of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and championship teams, they don't make excuses, man. And that's all the Cowboys do. They just whine and go, oh, we're missing this guy. Hey, man up. Get out there and be the champion you said you are. And that's all they do. They just make we're missing this person and we're missing that person. I don't want to hear it. And I'm going to say this, too. I don't think now I see what Aaron Rodgers meant about Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Because his decision-making, dude, I'm like, what are you doing? Half of Dallas's problems are with Mike McCarthy and his decision-making.
I agree with that. But I'm
definitely coaching.
But I'm glad they hired him. I'm glad they hired him.
Hey, guess who else? Hey, guess who else is glad?
Exactly.
The
My
chicken
man.
nugget.
Yeah. He's real happy about it. So, I mean, that's all the Cowboys do is make a bunch of excuses, and they're going in the wrong direction. They have a game this Thursday night. Now, look, on paper, they should go down to the Superdome in New Orleans and walk the dog on the Saints on paper.
They should.
You know what? I can't say that anymore. You know how many times I've said that about the Cowboys this year, and they went out there and wet the bed?
Quite a few times.
They've done it at least 4 times. Okay. They got 4 losses on their resume where they should have destroyed the other team. I'm not so sure they're going to go to New Orleans and win.
I think they're going to win that game.
Okay.
The New Orleans Saints are struggling right now at the quarterback position. If Dallas does not win this game, Jerry Jones is going to be doing backflips. He might jump off the Empire State Building.
Oh yeah, they have to talk him down, Matt.
They're going to have to talk him down because this is a game they shouldn't lose. But then again, Ezekiel Elliott is not 100%.
Okay.
Your two studs on the outside are out. Dak had some mistakes in last game. I mean he had some mistakes. The defense wasn't holding up. So it's some holes. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it's some holes in that defense as well.
Oh, there's some holes in that defense. There's no question about it. I mean, everybody got excited when Diggs was getting all those picks. But if you take that away, Dallas is better. Don't get me wrong. Their defense is better than last year. There's no doubt about that. But they're not an elite group.
They're not elite. And I knew this was going to happen at the beginning of the season when they was rolling. I said it's going to be coming time when them nutballs on the wheel are going to start getting loose. They're going to start getting loose, and that cop going to start running funny. That cop going to start running funny, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
Hey, Aaron, so those wheels going to start wobbling, right, bro?
The wheels are wobbling right now. And Dallas fans are getting nervous, but I mean, it is what it is. It happens every year.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Washington football team, they hot right now.
Yeah.
And they have a guy at the quarterback position who is rolling with a bunt load of confidence right now.
Yeah, he is. Tyler Heineke is a guy now that has confidence. I mean, he was on the verge of me calling him St. Pauli girl. But we go call him Heineken. He's a Heineken now, dude. And I'm gonna tell you. So if he really has turned the corner, he can be that guy to get the football team into the playoffs and make some noise. Because the Redskins, they have talent. It's all about, ball security, making that right decision in critical situations, because that's been their problem all year. That's why they don't have a better record. And if Heineke has really figured that part of his game out, watch out.
What is your record?
Right now, we're 4-6. We win tonight, we'd be 5-6, right back in the mix.
Dallas better be careful. Dallas better be careful, man. Because if they mess around and keep losing these games like that, and y'all sneak back into the pitch as far as winning the division, that could definitely be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, Fortney says that they have the worst record in the history of the NFL on Monday Night Football. I didn't know that. Whoa.
But I would say something about this team right here and Ron Rivera's mindset.
Yeah.
They do not quit. No matter what the score is.
Yeah.
They will not quit. If you see, a lot of times they've been down by 3 scores, 2 scores.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they come back and win. If you go back to that Atlanta game, they shouldn't have won that game. They should not have won that Atlanta game, but they pulled it out. They do not quit. Whatever Ron Rivera is
I'll give you that.
Whatever Ron Rivera is feeding them, they eating it. And I guarantee you, tonight, I don't know if they wearing the all-white unis, But if they wear all white unis,
y'all gonna win tonight.
That means it's game time. I hope they are.
I know what he's feeding them, Aaron. I know exactly what he's feeding them. He's feeding them. He's feeding them Cam's cornflakes.
One thing you can't do is go back on the past with this team, because this is a whole new mindset. This is a whole new mindset, whole new regime. And
I will say that.
I wouldn't just say on Monday night, but I would say on primetime games, Washington football. Well, not the Washington football team. You would have to go back and say the Washington Redskins, because they're not. That's the old team right there. But the Washington football team, I disagree with that comment. This is a new team, new squad, and I think they're gonna pull it out tonight.
I think so too.
And that's why they play. Another game. This is a new game, and anything can happen. I totally agree with that.
Just one thing, though.
What's up?
I was going to say one thing is and I want you guys to win because Seattle.
Yeah.
One thing is, do not sleep on Seattle. I know Russell has been playing bad the last couple games and stuff like that, but
that's a good point,
when them boys turn it on, we all know what Russell can do when healthy. So get focused, keep that same confidence y'all had when y'all played Tom Brady and the Bucks.
Yeah.
And come in there, buckle your chin strap up, and run all over them boys.
That's what we need to do. What we can't do is not allow them to stick around.
Exactly, because if you do,
I don't want Russell to have one of these miracle
Russell be cooking in the kitchen.
Because he can.
Yeah, he can.
He can. He's still Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
He can have one of these drives if they down by 4 with a minute left or whatever seconds left. He could drive them down the field and get a win. So I don't want that. Like I told Stewart earlier this week that I want a blowout. I don't want to. I'm tired of close games. I'm tired of it. I want to sit back with my feet up and this is your game.
Yeah.
I was standing up in front of the TV.
Yeah.
My hands folded, nervous, my heart beat, my chest beat. I'm tired of that. I don't want that no more.
Hey, dude.
Nice, clean blowout win.
Got the shakes after the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got 40 says, change the name, change the coaches, players, whatever you want. It's the same old situation. Whoa, Matt, you don't have any confidence, you boys, man. Wow.
He gonna eat them words tonight, though.
Man, I'm going to say this to you right now, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it later on, but the thing about Washington, and we'd all love to be able to watch our teams walk the dog on somebody. It's so much, more pleasant to sit there and watch it. But the thing about the football team is they get into dogfights. And they're good at it. They're good in the octagon. The football team is. Yep. And I got to go back to what Stewart said. Hey, it's going to be a good game tonight. This is going to be one of those barn burners. Russell Wilson's going to bring his A game. But I like the Washington football team because I think the Seahawks are going in the wrong direction, and you guys are going in the right direction. It's in D.C. I'm going to go with the football team.
We got to hit him in the mouth first, though. You got to.
You got to come out and hit him in the mouth. There's no question. And just let him know, hey, it ain't going to be no miracle plays out here tonight, Russ. You see what I'm saying? You got to let him know right from the top. Stu, let's get to your AFC Top 5.
All right. Let's see here what I got here. AFC Top 5. Number 1, I got the Ravens at 8-3.
Okay.
Number 2, I got the Patriots at 8-4.
Okay.
Number 3, I got the Chiefs at 7-4.
All right.
Number 4, the Bengals crept back in it.
Yeah, they did.
7-4.
That's a good.
And number 5, even though they have a good record, I have them at the Titans at 5 with 8-4.
Whoa! And the record forces you to put them in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But they're not playing top. They don't look like a top 5 team to me.
Yeah. And I saw the blueprint.
They just don't.
The blueprint to beat them guys, because with Derrick Henry, they used to have to keep that extra man in the box and stuff. Now teams are just putting 2 safeties deep and trying to make Tannehill beat them. He's struggling to find open receivers because people are just playing coverage because there's no concern on stopping the run. Well, and that's what's been working.
Yeah, that's how you have to play Tennessee, is make Ryan Tannehill beat you. And he's not an elite quarterback. He's not. And if you can make him win the ball game, the Titans are going to be in trouble. Now, you had the Ravens at number 1 over New England. And I just look at New England right now as a team that's playing the best football in the AFC, if not in the NFL.
And the reason being behind that is because, New England, even though they did play the Tennessee, but that's not the real Tennessee Titans. They have an easier schedule. One thing when Brady was over there, we would always complain, they got this easy schedule and all this, that, and the third. And they do have some dogs coming along if you look at their schedule. But I put the Ravens in there because, no matter what, ugly or pretty, they always find a way to win without Lamar or with Lamar. So, that's definitely going to be a good matchup going into the playoffs. And I also put them at 1 because out of all the teams, except for, Mahomes, between New England and the Ravens have more playoff experience as far as the quarterback is concerned. So we still got to see what that rookie going to do, in the playoffs. So, I'm not going to just give them the trophy yet. You still got to earn it. But they're number 2. They're number 2 on the top 5. They made their way all the way up from not being on there to number 5 to working their way up to the number 2 spot.
So Fortney says KC or New England should be number 1. I'm surprised you put the Chiefs up there. I don't know if I'm ready to put Kansas City at number 1. I'm not convinced that Kansas City's back yet. And I'll say this about New England. I have the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. But I'm going to say this. I'm not going to take it back, but I'm going to say this. I want to see New England beat a team that is strong, they don't have any issues, and they're ready to roll.
Exactly.
The last 6 games, New England has either whipped a weak team or a team that's just got a lot of injuries and they're not playing their best. But I haven't seen New England beat a team that's got everything going on all cylinders. Like perhaps maybe I'd like the Bengals' chances against them. They got Buffalo, and we're going to get into that next week because next Monday, in a little bit later on in the show, because they got Buffalo in Buffalo next Monday night. Then we'll get a chance to see not only where New England is, but where Buffalo is, because Josh Allen he'll wet to bed too. Anyway, I think your top 5 is pretty solid. What about the NFC?
All right, NFC top 5. We have the Green Bay Packers, number 1 at 9-3.
There it is.
The Arizona Cardinals, number 2 at 9-2.
Okay.
The Bucks at 8-3, sitting at the 3 spot. Number 4, I got the Rams sitting at 7-4. Number 5, Cowboys hanging on by a thin shred at 7-4.
Wow, I'm surprised that you found a way to get Dallas inside that top 5.
I'm
surprised, but their record dictates that they probably have to get in there.
Exactly. They're still winning the division. They're only lost 4 games. They haven't been looking good lately, but that's why they're at the 5th spot. We got some dogs coming up, like the 49ers is trying to take that from them.
I got 2 teams that's playing better than Dallas right now, and that's your boys, San Francisco, and Minnesota.
Yeah.
Even though they lost yesterday and they have a losing record, they're playing better than Dallas right now.
Yeah. I agree with that. But I'm not going to be biased because I had the 49ers in there. I got to be honest. We're working our way to get into that top 5. But right now, Dallas has done more in this season. Now, the last couple of games, they haven't been doing their best, but they've done more than we have. But, it's a week-to-week league. Things change next week. We'll see.
So Fortney says, I think you should just call Aaron Rodgers number 1. I guess he's saying instead of calling the Packers number 1, just call my man.
I disagree with that. Fortney. I disagree with that because, the defense has been playing for the Packers, man.
They've stepped up. They've
been getting turnovers. They've been getting picks. They've been getting after the quarterback. It's definitely complimentary football.
It is. I would definitely agree. I think they're starting to play as a more of a complete team. So I would agree with that, Stu. Let's look at your NFL top 10.
All right, NFL top 10. We got the Packers sitting big dogs on the block at 9-3. We got the Arizona Cardinals number 2 at 9-2.
Okay.
I got the Baltimore Ravens at 8-3. I got the Bucks number 4 at 8-3. I got the Patriots number 5 at 8-4. Okay. I got the Rams at 7-4 at the 6th spot. Number 7, I got the Chiefs at 7-4. 8, I got the Bengals at 7-4. 9, I got the Cowboys 7-4. And number 10, the Tennessee Titans at 8-4.
Wow. That's a solid top 10. That's a solid top 10. I think Cincinnati yesterday at 7-4 now. It was sad to see Pittsburgh get destroyed like that.
Yeah, they got beat.
I was looking at Big Ben. I think it was probably the third quarter, and I switched the channel over there, and they were losing. It was like 31-3. Yeah. And I'm looking at Ben, and I'm like, yo, Ben. I'm thinking to myself, Big. It was early in the third. I'm like, and I was just rooting for Big Ben. Just sentimental. I'm not a Steeler fan, but I got mad respect for Big Ben and the Steelers. You know what I mean? And it was just kind of sad. It's kind of like watching the passing of an old champion. Like, the Steelers aren't what they used to be, man.
No.
They just are not the Steelers anymore. I think they have to retool with personnel, all that stuff, because I don't think the Bengals are that good. I mean, the Bengals are good, but, man, they just made the Steelers look like garbage.
Yeah. They got some weapons. The Bengals got some weapons.
No, they do. I'm not taking anything away from Cincinnati. It was just sad to see the Steelers get walked on like that.
Yeah, especially a division game. You're not used to seeing Pittsburgh do that in a division game. That was bad.
Especially that. That was a freaking division game, dude.
Yeah. They should have hired Bobby Boucher, maybe the water boy or something.
Well, yeah, they should have gotten, speaking of that, but Bobby Boucher to the LA Rams, ladies and gentlemen. So he's going to be unavailable to anybody else. The Rams got him locked up. Anyway, so what's up, Aaron?
Let me tell you where the Steelers went wrong at this year.
Okay.
They went wrong with thinking Ben can throw the ball 40 times a game, and he can't do that no more.
Okay.
What they should have did is retool. They should have did this 2 years ago, I think. They should have did was revamp their offensive line, number one.
Okay.
And number 2 is go back to what they did the first year they drafted Ben, when they had the studs at running back. They had Maurice, and now I forget the other guy's name. He rolling through my mind. I forgot his name. But they should have more depended on a running game and go back to old Steeler, pound them in the mouth, stop the run. We're going to run the ball, but you're not going to stop it.
Smash
mouth football, instead of having Ben drop back, he just can't do that no more. That's not his game.
No.
And if you wanted him to still be your quarterback, you should have done that. But they didn't, and now you're seeing the results of that.
Aaron, you're 100% correct, dude. And that's why it was sad to watch. It was like he was getting humiliated, Ben Roethlisberger.
I couldn't even watch it. I had to change the channel. I didn't even watch it.
I didn't watch it for long. I just was something inside me was saying, Ben, I know you can do something here, man. Just because he's Ben Roethlisberger, but you're right, he can't do that anymore, and they're still treating him as as a guy that can, and that's long past his game. I mean, you got to be able to establish the run, take a lot of pressure off of him, and so forth. Let's see, Willie Parker,
that was it.
Okay,
appreciate that, Courtney.
Yeah, so it was kind of bad. Let's switch gears. I want to talk about the LA Rams for a moment after yesterday. I think that this begs the question: are the Rams in danger of losing control of their playoff destiny?
I would say no.
Okay.
I definitely see them making the playoffs. They may lose their spot in line. They currently hold the 5th seed. And I believe the 49ers are going to take that from them. We have the 6th seed. We're down one game. They may end up being like a 6th or 7th seed entering the playoffs, but I still think they're going to get in there. With the talent they have on that side of the ball, when those guys start to gel, when Matt Stafford builds up more chemistry with Beckham and, company, and Von Miller gets more familiar with everything that's going on, they can click at any time and go off. We know they got the talent. We just haven't been seeing it lately. So I definitely think they're going to make the playoffs. They just may be a lower seed than where they currently are.
Aaron, what's your opinion of that?
I don't think that's going to hurt their playoff destiny. The losses they had, I believe they lost to some decent teams, some good teams. So I don't think it's had a. Now they may be on the road. They may not get that home spot. They may be on the road, but I think they're gonna slide up into, especially with the extra playoff spot. I don't think they're gonna lose their playoff destiny.
They shouldn't. Let me switch gears and get over to Cam Newton. Was the decision by the Carolina Panthers yesterday to start Cam Newton on Sunday the right call?
I'm gonna say no. Definitely not. And it's not that Cam is not a starter in this league. We got to remember, he's not back. He's not back. It's going to take some time for him to get back into the mix. He's been sitting on his couch, watching the games like we have, and now he just jumped right back into it. And I said this previously. I said, I hope they don't rush Cam too soon. I hope they methodically give him a couple of plays here and there, and then put more and more on his plate, and then just not give him the reins and let's say, you're back, just go ahead and do what you do, because that's exactly what happened, and it didn't end well. The other guy that they had playing quarterback was doing a pretty decent job, and I don't think that Cam did anything to take that position from him yet. I don't think he arrived just yet. The S, they still working out the S on his chest. It's like a U. Upside down U. They still got to make another squiggly line or something. But
okay, another squiggly line. That's it, Stu. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Give Cam some time.
Let's give him some time. Aaron, what do you think about that?
So Philip Walker was the starter before Cam there, and being an athlete in any sport, when somebody comes in off the couch, off the street, and you've been a starter, even if you've been there the whole time. You've been in training camp. You've been in preseason. You've been in off-season workouts. You put the work in. It didn't work out for Sam Darnold. You get the start. You play well. Yeah. You played well when you came in. They started rotating Cam against the Cardinals in and there, in and out, and then he gets to start against the Washington football team. He should have not have started against the Washington football team.
Okay.
It should have been Philip Walker. And
now they play,
as a player, and on that team, if I was in that locker room, I would have been upset at that.
Yeah.
Until he proves that he's not the guy, and then you bring Cam in. I have no problem with them putting Cam in different positions and spot playing him. I have no problem with that, but giving him the whole, saying you're the guy now coming in just because he's Cam Newton, no, you're here, in case something happens to our starter, and we may spot play you a couple times, but he's playing well. He's going to be the guy, until he stops playing well. That's my mentality. Actually, that happened to me in college. I came in. I transferred to Bowie State. I came in as the backup. The starter, my first year, I was the backup the whole time. 5-6 games in, the starter towards his ACL. I get the start. I never lost my starting spot. Now he comes back healthy the next year, and I gave no reason for the coaches to give my starting spot up. He comes back, and you telling me he's number one in the depth chart? No, I'm gonna be frankly, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yes.
Bad coaching decision.
I put this hard work in, and then I have not gave you a reason not to take me out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be upset.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, and I guarantee you, Walker behind closed doors when all the coaches and people are away, he's saying the same thing I'm saying right now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I guarantee some of them players in there saying the same thing, saying, "Yeah, Walker, you should be starting, bro. Shouldn't have been Cam."
Well, they got fooled because Cam did play well against the Washington football team.
He did.
You know, and I think that was all about get back.
But you know what I mean? You know what happened? They rode that team with the Washington football team and saw what he did well, and the coaches said, "We're not gonna let Cam do that." And you know what? The same thing he tried to do against the Washington football team, the other team didn't let him do that, and he couldn't adjust.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me, I think that's Mounsey right there. Let me say this. I think that because my other question
what up,
is, hey, Mounsey, what's up, brother? Here's my other question. Is Cam Newton a starter or a backup?
I believe he's a starter eventually. He's not there yet. He's not there yet. And I said it previously. You cannot just put him in the game when the other guy's playing well. Now, if you had somebody, playing like a bum out there, and then I'm like, all right, whatever, we can't lose. Just put Cam in there, and you can't get worse. But the other guy was playing decent. He was playing decent football. And they threw Cam back into the mix like that so soon. And, he had a couple good showings, but it's about consistency. And who has been there, like Moore said, consistently, I just think he wasn't ready yet. And now, they just lost Christian McCaffrey for the year. So that's a major blow for that team. And I don't like their playoff potential going forward. I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs anymore.
And one thing you got to do as a coach, I don't know if the coach did this, you got to feel your team. You gotta feel your team. You gotta, and that's why Ron Rivera stuck with Heineke. Because the guys rally around Heineke. For some reason they drew to him. They drew to him, when he was on the field. So you gotta read your guys too.
That's so true, man.
Yeah, you gotta read your guys too.
And I gave Rivera a call too, so that kind of helped out a little bit.
Well, I tell you what, that's interesting. I wish the best for Cam Newton, man. I hope his career ends on a high note, man. The guy's had a great he's had a great career. You don't want him to go out looking bad. So I'm just throwing it out. Yesterday was a bad look. I mean, the Dolphins are not a good team, and they were destroyed. And it looked like PJ should have been out there starting. And they should give Cam some more time to get back. And you can't go from a bag of Doritos to starting. You see what I mean? You know, especially we got the queso. Anyway, I leave it alone. But so let's move on. We got a big game coming up next Monday night. It's New England versus Buffalo, and this is where we really get to some answers to some questions. Stu, what do you think about this one?
Oh, man, great game with a lot of playoff potential. New England's playing hot right now. Not too many teams playing better than them. The Bills got a lot to prove. They started off well and they started to fall a little bit. So it's definitely going to be a great game. Coaching is going to come into play. Game plan is going to come into play. We know that Belichick's going to try to take away, the Bills' number one threat, with their passing the game. If I had to pick, where's the game at? Mousy, where's the game at?
I want to say it's in Buffalo. Mousy, if you know, let us know. But I think it's in Buffalo. I'm not 100% sure, though.
I would say this. If the Bills are able to establish the run, I like their chances. If they don't run the ball, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. If the quarterback has to throw 40, 45 times, in the game, it's going to be a long night with that New England defense, and they're going to get after the quarterback. But if they can establish somewhat of a run and play more balanced football, then I like the Bills at home.
Okay. Aaron, what do you think, buddy?
Is this a primetime game?
It's a Monday night game.
Monday night game.
Yeah, prime time.
Prime time. So you know what? The Bills have a lot to prove right now. So this is a big game for them. I'm gonna go with the Bills on this one.
It's in Buffalo. According to Courtney, it's in Buffalo.
I'm gonna go with the Bills because this is a big game for them to get on track. Prime time, Monday night. So I think Buffalo is going pull it out.
All right, I'm gonna give you my take. I think I'm going to go with New England. And I'll tell you why I'm going to go with New England. I think on paper Buffalo should win this ball game. But I'm going with New England because they take advantage of the other team's mistakes. They make you pay. And Josh Allen makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great athlete. He's a really good quarterback. But Josh Allen's mistakes are still a problem for Buffalo. And when you play a team that makes you pay, you lose.
Yeah.
You lose. New England. But anyway, we'll see what happens because I don't think the Patriots are like Mac Wilson. He's a good quarterback, but he doesn't stretch the field. He doesn't have a cannon arm. He's not a super athlete. He works the system, though, exactly the way Belichick wants it run. And he's very accurate. Mac Jones is very accurate. And he's a great decision maker.
Yeah.
So he's not going to go out there and commit bumbling errors. He's not going to do it. Josh Allen will. He will do it. And that's what, and I've been saying it for a long time. And he's got to stop doing it. Josh Allen's got, I don't know, he hasn't matured yet. He's going to be a great quarterback. But I don't think he's quite there yet. Fortney says the reason why is Bill Belichick. Yes. Yes. Bill Belichick is the reason. When you play him, you've got to have, if you are a good team and you play your A game against New England, you beat New England because they don't have the talent. I mean, they're good, but they're not great. They're not a great team. But if you make a mistake, if you leave that much of an opening for Bill Belichick one too many times, and I do mean one too many, not like 8. You don't need to make 8 mistakes against Belichick. You make a couple or 3, and you're done. And there's not one team in the AFC that does not do that. But in the NFC, it's different. Green Bay, Tampa, okay, the Rams when they're doing their thing. Arizona, the 49ers now, okay, and I can't put Dallas. Dallas should be in the AFC.
Yeah, they can go over there.
Okay, Dallas should be 7-4 in the AFC. I can't put Dallas in that conversation. But those other 5 teams, they're not going to give the game to you.
But you know what, though, Mo?
Yeah.
Like you said this earlier, I want to see how he exposes every team weakness. Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to see how New England does against some of these better teams, against the Cardinals, against the Packers, the high 49ers now,
Right.
I want to see how they do against teams that's saying, you know what, we're going to stop the run. We're going to take away the short passes and make you have to throw deep to beat us and blitz. I want to see how Ricky handles these blitzes. These blitzes coming in all 100%. Different angles and stuff like that. I want to see that, and I'm hoping the Bills have a pretty good, decent defense. And I'm hoping that they can formulate a plan to put this rookie in a hard spot where he's going to have to play a little hero and put on a cape to try to pull some things out of his hat. And if they stop the run, how is he going to beat you? If they have to pass to win? These are some of the things that's going to happen in the playoffs. This is why I don't want to crown them just yet, because teams like the Ravens, they got the defense to do it. The Ravens got the defense to do it. Other teams, the Chiefs are hot now. The defense doesn't look great on paper, but in the playoffs and like they showed up the last week, they just come out of nowhere and they start playing. And when you got a team like the Chiefs that can put up points, can you keep up? It's all of these going to come into play in the postseason. That's why I don't want to crown them just yet, because they do have a weak schedule, and they have been taking advantage of playing teams at their low point, like the Tennessee Titans now.
Right.
You know, they're not what they were with Henry. So, you know, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting, and I think that if you look at the way that the Patriots are playing right now, they are mistake-free. And I like what you said about Buffalo. If you can put that pressure on them and force Mac Jones off of his comfort spot, you might have, you know, something going there. I fully expect Buffalo's defense to show up. Again, it's the mistakes that Josh Allen makes, and Bill Belichick is going to make him cough it up.
Yeah.
Because he's that kind of quarterback.
And Josh Allen has to do a better job at taking what the defense is giving him. I know he's a playmaker. I know he got some dogs on the outside, Diggs and company.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes you got to just, if you got the first down, just get the first down. You know, you don't have to throw a 40-yard bomb, and you can just get the first down, methodically move down the field, still take your shots, and, you know, like Brady does, pick your shots and stuff like that, and go down the field. But, you know, take what the defense is giving you, keep the chains moving, keep the time of possession moving, keep them on the sideline, and, you know, win that football game. So it's going to be interesting to see what type of game plan they have moving forward.
Totally agree with you. I think that Buffalo on paper should win this ball game, but they don't play the way they look on paper a lot of Sundays. So I'm like, okay, well, this is not a team that you want to go out there fooling around with. So we'll see if Josh Allen comes out and plays the kind of ball game he needs to as a high caliber quarterback, Buffalo will win the game. I don't have faith in him right now. I'm going to go with the Patriots. We'll see what happens. You're right about that. And Aaron, you say you're picking Buffalo as well?
Yep, picking Buffalo.
All right, we'll see what happens. Guys, this has been a great show. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out on the Maurice Brown Show Sports Edition with there it is. Represent Bowie State representing.
They ready.
HBCU. Try to get that NC2A jump.
Hey, Aaron, can we get some field passes to the game or something? What's up, man? Pull some of your magic, man.
Hey, Aaron, I know you definitely go. Where's the game going to be? The next ball game going to be?
I think this game is away because it's regional.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And they're playing next Saturday.
This Saturday coming up. I'm not sure the time. I believe it's 1:00, but don't check me on that.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the Maurice Brown Show Sports Edition. If you've enjoyed our show, like it and share it, and subscribe to the Maurice Brown Comedy channel, as well as any social media engine that Antoine Real Stewart and Aaron Moore are a part of. If you came on at the end, you're like, man, I missed it. Daggone it, I just missed the HBCU. Listen, you can watch the whole thing tomorrow on the Creative Motion Network at about 12 noon or 1:00, and find out everything that Aaron Moore said about Bowie State going for their NC2A chip, and all the stuff we said about Cam Newton and his Doritos, everything. You'll be able to see the whole thing.
Don't forget, man.
So, what's up?
Don't forget our sponsor, Deer Park. 100% natural spring water.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week. Until next week, may the peace of Jesus Christ be with you and your families, guys. God bless you.
Got